Now, along that continuum from arbitrary to motivated signs, we can talk about three types of signs within that continuum. We can talk about signs as an icon, as an index, or as a symbol. An icon directly relates to the object to which it refers. The classic example of an icon is a photo. So our Drake photo is a literal representation of Drake. An index is a sign which points to something other than itself. The classic example is that smoke is an index of fire. If you see smoke, you automatically equate that with fire. So when we see smoke coming from somewhere, we automatically become either curious or scared and go to investigate, because there's a good chance that something may be on fire. An index is a sign which points to something other than itself, and the smoke points to the fire. The third type of sign is a symbol, where meaning is simply a matter of agreement or convention. Our friend from a couple of slides ago, depending on what context you're in, you'll either call him David or Arne, or maybe both, and we'll understand exactly who it is that we're talking about because we agree to. So let's think about this a little more. Is this an icon, index, or a symbol? Now, this is a pretty easy one. This is an icon. It is a very literal representation of a young woman, or if you know her, Miley Cyrus. There's nothing really ambiguous about that. It's a good, clear photo of Miley Cyrus, and we recognize it as Miley Cyrus. Now, this is a little bit of a tricky one. Even though when we see this sign when we're driving, we will, or at least we should, come to a stop, the decision to stop is actually a matter of convention. This stop sign is a symbol. Let's break this down into its component parts for a moment to understand this better. So there's nothing that intrinsically says stop about a hexagonal shape. Nothing at all. It's simply a matter of convention. The hexagonal sign in Western cultures, and we're going to have a look at some different stop signs in a minute, symbolizes stop. This is a tricky one because it's so ingrained in our culture that we take this for granted as common sense, but there is nothing intrinsically about the color red that means we should stop. Yes, we associate red with stop, with danger, but again, that's just a matter of convention that has remained consistent for centuries. And of course, the word stop, made up of the letters S-T-O-P, or four funny squiggles if you don't understand English, is once again a matter of convention. So someone who doesn't understand English is going to look at those letters and not really have any idea necessarily about what they should do. They might be able to guess because the color red is universally accepted as a color that symbolizes stop or danger, but there's no guarantee. We can see the conventional nature of stop signs by looking at some from countries other than Australia. Now, if I was seeing these signs and all I knew was the Australian version of the stop sign, I might be in a little bit of trouble. The hexagonal red one with no writing on it comes from Libya. No language, no words. There's just simply relying on our understanding that the hexagonal red sign symbolizes stop. The middle one comes from Japan. But again, to a non-speaker of that language, those are just going to look like strange squiggles. And even more confusing, for a Westerner at least, is the fact that this is a triangle, not a hexagon. So we're looking at it and thinking, what does this mean? It's red, so we might be able to say, okay, this sign is probably saying that we should exercise caution or that there's some element of danger here. But if we're in Japan and don't understand the language and aren't familiar with the conventions, we may have a few problems. The final sign is a stop sign from Turkey. It's a circle and a triangle rather than a hexagon. We recognize the hand in the middle as symbolizing stop, but again, it's a matter of convention. Hopefully, through this quite detailed explanation of the stop sign, we can now understand it as a symbol, and when we see that sign, we agree to stop as a matter of convention. This is the classic My Family sticker, which you used to be able to see on the backs of cars. Now, by process of elimination, you've probably worked out that it's an index, or at least in this instance, the sticker operates as an index because the figures that make up the sticker point to the type of family that is inside the car. These stickers point to something other than itself. In this case, the family that gets around in this car. So the My Family sticker here operates as an index. Now we're going to be talking about these in more detail in the tutorials, and you're going to get plenty of practice identifying icons, indices, and symbols. So if you're not 100% comfortable with these ideas yet, don't worry, as you will become comfortable very quickly.